doing an update on my Pan That Palette project for this year. So I'm going to go ahead and share with you guys the progress that I've made. I'm really excited about the progress. I hit pan on a bunch of shadows this month and I'm feeling pretty good about it. So I'm going to start with the Naked Basics palette. So this is the Urban Decay Naked Basics palette. I've mentioned before that for this one I am not panning this black shade, I'm just panning these 5, but I've made pretty good progress. So first I'm going to show you where it was last month at this time. Alright, here is where I am now. So last month at this time I hadn't hit pan on anything, but then shortly after that I hit pan on Walk of Shame right here, and there's pretty good pan there in the middle. And then I also hit pan on Crave. I've been using Foxy and Walk of Shame as kind of mixed together underneath my under eyes, which is working out okay. So I have a pretty good divot going in Foxy as well. I've been using Foxy as a brow bone highlight most of the time. I've been using Venus as an inner corner highlight, so I use it on the inner portion of my lid. And then very rarely I'm using Faint over here in my outer corner. Mostly I've been sticking to these 4 shadows, and I've been using those pretty much daily, which they always work as good extra shades. So if I'm choosing to go with a more sparkly eye look, I can go to these and use them as blending outs. I use this a lot as like a blending out, so I use this in my crease and then this to blend out into my brow bone. I really like them. I have no complaints, but I am excited that I have pan in 2 of those shades. I'm hoping that maybe by next month I'll at least have a little bit of pan in Foxy, and I think it's going to be a little bit before I hit pan in Venus. Even though there's a dip in it, I think it's going to be a little while. So there's the progress on that one. Woohoo! For my progress on the Maybelline quad, I'm going to have to show you that from a different angle because I was using it this morning and one of the shades is completely cracked and I haven't had time to repress it yet. So I'll show you that from a different angle, but I'm really happy with the progress that I've made on it. I was hoping that I would finish 2 of the shades, but I haven't yet. The green in this palette, I've decided that I'm not going to try to use up. I've tried to play with it on my lid and I'm just never happy with the eye look. It just fades away to almost nothing, and so it's not worth it for me to try to use it. So I'm just trying to use up the 3 other colors, which I've really enjoyed. I've really enjoyed mixing these with the Naked Basics palette, and I've liked that a lot. I feel like the 2 shades are definitely going to be done by next month, and then I'll just have the 1 shade that I'm really working with. So here's that palette from last month. Alright, so this is my Maybelline palette. As you can see, the second color in there today got all crushed up. I only have the edges left of it, and then today it just crumbled apart. So the very first color I've been using all over my lid, it's just about done. It'll definitely be done in the next couple of weeks here. This middle color I've been using as my transition color in my outer corner and crease, and I've made pretty good progress. I'm just about done with that. I'm going to repress it after this update. I'm not touching the green anymore. I'm going to leave the green alone because it just does not show up the way I want it to. And the burgundy I hit pan on, which I was super excited. There's a really great dip in there. I'm going to mix that one in with the Clinique palette when I'm done with these other 2 shadows. And I feel like I'm going to make super great progress. So I'm really happy with the progress that I've made in this palette. I think that the first 2 colors will be gone by my next update, and then I'll just have that burgundy one to work with, and I will be super stoked to get that out of my collection. Alright, since I am so close to finishing up the Maybelline quad and all I'm going to have is really that dark burgundy color left, I feel like, I'm going to start mixing in 2 other palettes that I was hoping to use up this year. So the first one is just this little Clinique duo. So this one is like a really, again, neutral colored duo. So there's this color here that I already have pan in, and then this color. So these are very similar to the ones that I'm using up in the Maybelline quad, but this one is in pink tweed, which I believe has been discontinued. The last time I looked for it, like when I was still in high school, it wasn't there anymore, so maybe it's been brought back since then. But I've had this quad for a really long time, probably since college, and I just figure I should use it up. I find that with the Maybelline palette, it's older, so it's really more powdery and it cracks away a lot more quickly. I think this one probably will too. So there's just a close-up of what that one looks like this month. So obviously there's very little wear in this one, and then there's pan in this one. So I'll probably use this as an everyday shadow. I'll put this all over my lid, this in the crease and outer corner, and then I'll mix in that burgundy one from the Maybelline quad. And this is the other palette that I want to work on. So this is a little mini Reveal 2 sampler palette that I got in a Birchbox in Ballerina. So I have the full size of this as well, but I really like these 4 colors. So this already has pan in it up here. I wore this a lot before I bought the Reveal 2 palette. So I used this all over my lid, this in the crease, this on the brow bone, and this in the outer corner. And I really like that combo, so I'm going to start working on that one as well. I figure I'll work on the Clinique one first and then mix this one in, but this one I've worn a couple times so far. So this one I really like as well. So that is it for my progress on my Pan That Palette challenge. I really am happy with the progress that I've made. I feel like I'm going to be done with my Maybelline quad within the next month or 2. I'm still working on a few shadows from the Lorac Pro palette, but then as soon as I'm done with my Maybelline quad, at least the 2 main colors, I'm going to start working this one in and using this to finish up the burgundy color with the other quad as well. And then I also have been mixing this one in occasionally. Obviously, these aren't the only shadows that I ever use. I use these mostly on a daily basis, but the nice thing about using these different kinds of smaller palettes are that it allows me to play with some of my other palettes as well. So like yesterday, because I apparently needed to, I bought the NYX Avant Pop palette. So I'd seen this one in Ulta a couple times and it looked really pretty, especially this purple. So that's what I have on today. But I still can use this and mix in my Urban Decay Naked Basics palette, and I can still play with some of those other shadows as well, which is kind of nice. This is just a nice way for me to mix some palettes and get rid of some of the stuff that's older in my collection, because it's not going to take me that long to finish up this Maybelline quad, but it would just sit there if I didn't. So this is a nice way to move out some of my older shadows. I would love to know if you guys are doing a Pan That palette project. Let me know that in the comments below, how you guys are doing with that. I've been seeing a lot of great progress from other people. I know that Amber F just uploaded hers and she had awesome progress. So the fun thing about these are that they're fun ways to use up your products and see what you really love and don't love, see if there's things that you can dupe in your collection. But for me, ultimately, it's a good way for me to get out older shadows and get some use out of the stuff that I might not reach for normally. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.